हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेवा आदि पराशक्ति माता की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव। सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा नमः शिवाभ्यां नवयौवनाभ्यां परस्पराश्लिष्टवपुर्धराभ्यां नागेन्द्रकन्या वृषकेतनाभ्यां नमो नमः शङ्कर पार्वतीभ्यां कलाभ्यां चूडालङ्कृत शशिकलाभ्यां निजतपःफलाभ्यां भक्तेषु प्रकटितफलाभ्यां भवतु मे शिवाभ्यामस्तोकत्रिभुवन शिवाभ्यां हृदि पुनर्भवाभ्याम् आनन्दस्फुरदनुभवाभ्यां नतिरियं माता च पार्वती देवी पिता देवो महेश्वरः बान्धवा शिवभक्ताश्च स्वदेशो भुवनत्रयम्। सदा शिव समारम्भां शङ्कराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परा। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत् स्मरणात् भवेत्। हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेवा आदि पराशक्ति माता की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Lord Parameshwara, the Lord of this entire universe, Lord Shambhu, the bestower of happiness and auspiciousness, has blessed us all immensely today, once again, to take part in this wonderful satsangam, to enjoy listening to the meaning of the shlokas in Shivananda Lahari, a beautiful work composed by Sri Adi Shankaracharya. In our previous week's satsangam, we had all enjoyed listening to the meaning of the 8th shlokam, where Sri Adi Shankaracharya explains us what Maya is, what delusion is, and how we have to differentiate between Sat, Asat and Mithya. He taught us how we have to look at the true things and not to get swayed away by Maya or delusion. He says, Yatha buddhishuktam rajatamiti kachashmani manihi jale paishte kshiram bhavati mrigatrishnasu salilam tatha deva bhrantya bhajati bhavadanyam jadajano mahadevesham tvam manasi cha namatva pashupate. He says, by Maya, by the action of Maya, by the force of Maya upon us, we all tend to see one thing in the place of the other thing. We all tend to miss out what is true, what is real, and we go behind those things which are unreal, which are just a reflection. We tend to go behind many devas, many demigods, thinking that they are Paramatma. But this is not true. The only Paramatma, Parabrahma, Swarupam is Lord Shiva, Parameshwara, Jagadishwara, Sarveshwara. And if we catch hold of Him, if we offer ourselves to Him, He will definitely protect us and He will ensure that we get everything in our life. We must only offer our mind to Him, and that is what He is expecting. So this is what was explained by Sri Adi Shankaracharya through the 8th shloka. In the 9th shloka, he tells us how we have to offer our mind as a flower for Shiva Puja. He says, Gabhire kasare vishati vijane ghora vipine vishale shaile cha bhramati kusumartham jadamatihi samarpyaikam chetas sarasijam umanatha bhavate sukhena avasthatum janaiha na janati kimaho. Gabhire kasare vishati vijane ghora vipine vishale shaile cha bhramati kusumartham jadamatihi samarpyaikam chetas sarasijam umanatha bhavate sukhena avasthatum janaiha na janati kimaho. He says, Gabhire kasare jadamatihi, foolish, dull-witted people go in search of something. They go, they enter vishati, they enter Gabhire kasare, deep lakes, vijane ghora vipine, lonely, dense and fearful forests.
Recording stopped.
Vishale shaile cha, they enter huge mountains. Bhramati cha kusumartham, they keep roaming here and there. After entering deep lakes, dense lonely forests, huge mountains, they keep wandering here and there. Bhramati. Why did they even enter these places in the first case? Kusumartham. Adi Shankaracharya had told in the previous shloka that we should not get swayed away by illusionary things and we have to offer our mind. we have to offer ourselves as a puja, as an offering. So, these dull-witted people have now decided that they have to offer something to Lord Shiva. What did they start doing? I am not doing it, O Shiva. These dull-witted people are doing. What did they start doing? They started roaming about here and there. They started entering deep lakes, huge forests, dense forests, huge mountains. They started roaming about here and there in search of a flower. They wanted to present the most expensive, the most rare, the most precious and exotic flower for you in your puja. So they kept roaming, kusumartham. For the sake of finding this flower, they kept roaming here and there. But these people are indeed dull-witted people, because samarpyaikam chetas sarasijam umanatha bhavate sukhena avasthatum. They might get extreme happiness by offering a flower. They might get extreme satisfaction by offering all that they have to you in a puja, of course. But they fail to understand that the epitome of happiness is obtained, is achieved when a person offers his own self. Samarpya ekam chetah sarasijam. Ekam sarasijam. Offer that one lotus. Samarpya ekam sarasijam. Offer that one lotus, the one and only lotus, which is none other than Chetaha, your own mind. Offer that to Umanatha Bhavate. Offer it to Umanatha. Offer it to the Lord of Uma Bhavati. Give it to him happily, and you will achieve the epitome of happiness, epitome of Anandam. Sukhena avasthatum. But without knowing this, Janaiha na janati kimaho. Without knowing this, Janaiha kimaho. What can I tell about them? What will I explain to them? How will I explain them that this is the epitome of happiness? These people are roaming about here and there and wasting their time. For no reason, they are wasting their time on unwanted, unnecessary things. How do I explain it to them? How do I let them know that they are wasting their time? So, Adi Shankaracharya says, don't roam here and there. Don't waste your time. All that Lord Shiva expects from you is your mind. All that he expects from you is pure devotion, pure bhakti. And if you are able to give that, he becomes extremely happy. And since he is Shambhu, Sham bhavayati iti Shambhu, Sham utpadayati iti Shambhu. Since he is the bestower of happiness, since he grants happiness to everyone in this world, since he is the embodiment of happiness and auspiciousness, he will give you all that you ask for. But you have to give your mind to him. This is what Adi Shankaracharya tells in this shloka. We have to understand that our mind is the most precious thing that we can offer. How is it the most precious? I did not pay anything to get this. If I pay 1 lakh rupee to get a flower, then that becomes very rich, that becomes very precious. I can offer it to Lord Shiva and he will accept it happily. I can also show off to the entire world that I have offered such a great, precious, rare, costly flower to Lord Shiva. But how is offering our mind costly and precious? All the other flowers in this world grow they are all born because of Lord Shiva. We are ourselves born. We do all activities in this world because of Lord Shiva. Everything is under His control. Now, if we pluck a flower and offer it to Lord Shiva, what do we say? Oh Shiva, oh Parameshwara, today I got this opportunity to offer a flower which was grown in my garden. I was the one who poured water. I was the one who added some manure, pesticides, fertilizer, everything to it. I was the one who took care of it, and I am ultimately offering it to you. But in reality, this flower is something which was brought into this world by Lord Shiva, taken care by Lord Shiva. Ultimately, He wishes that this flower must come at His lotus feet. This flower must be offered to Him. So He accepts it. What is the big deal in plucking a flower and offering it to Him when it is His? It is like taking money from our father or mother's purse and giving it back to them. There is no use. If you earn, you have to give your money to your parents. We can't take money from our parents' pocket and give it back to them when they need it. We have to earn and give it back to them. So, there is no point in just taking a flower and giving it back to Him when it is His. But what do you possess? What is something which only you possess, which nobody else in this world possesses, and which only you can tame? It is nothing but your mind. Mind is something which keeps running. It is easy to pluck a flower and give it to Lord Shiva, but it is very difficult to tame our mind. It is very difficult to bring our mind under our control. So that being the case, we should take up some challenge. We should be enthusiastic to take up new adventures. What is the adventure here? Bringing your mind under your control, making it pure, making it free from all kind of dirt, impurities, making it extremely pure, blemishless, and offering it to Lord Shiva. This is something which you have earned. This is something which you possess, and you have tamed your mind. And what else can be better than this flower? No other flower can come up to the level of the Sarasijam, lotus, that is your heart, your mind. So, offer it to Lord Shiva. And when you offer it, you will have the satisfaction that you are offering something by taking so much of efforts. You need not get into dense forest. You need not get into lonely forest. You need not fight wild animals. You need not get into deep lakes. You need not get into the desert. You need not get into lonely places. You need not go to huge mountains. You need not do anything. Sit in one place. Try to control your mind. Offer it to Lord Shiva. And that becomes the best flower, and that requires more efforts, time than roaming about here and there. This is because when we roam about here and there are chances that our mind may wander. Our legs, our body wanders. Along with it, our mind may also wander. Then what is the use? A person might say that he is offering everything that he has. Let us say that he is conducting a satsangam. Let us say that he is organizing a satsangam in his house for Shivaratri. He has invited the entire world. He has a huge Shiva Vigraham in his house. He is offering all kinds of precious gems and stones, offering all kinds of bhakshanam, doing abhishekam, milk abhishekam, and ghee abhishekam, what not. He's doing all kinds of abhishekam. He's offering all kind of bhaksharam, all kind of padartham to Lord Shiva. After doing all these, you cannot imagine the way, the grandeur with which this satsangam was being conducted. He gives everyone 1 lakh rupee as dakshana. After doing all these things, he's offering all these in silver and gold plates, vessels. So after doing all these things, finally, when we squeeze this event, when we see what is the essence of this event, he wants to show off. He wants to be pompous. He wants to let the world know that he is indeed very rich, and he offers all these to Lord Shiva. Ultimately, throughout that night, he would have thought about what to offer next, or how to please others, or to see what is to be added to make this dish more delicious, or to add something else, to add more gems, more jewels to Lord Shiva Vigraham, to show off that he is indeed very rich. After offering all these, if his mind was not there in Lord Shiva's feet even for a second, then what is the use of offering all these? So Adi Shankaracharya says, even if you offer this entire world at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, remember that you are giving back only what that belongs to him. What he actually wants is your mind. You are not giving him what he wants ultimately. If you give the entire world to him, if you place the entire world to him without giving your heart, there is no use in giving the entire world to him. If you are able to offer only one bilva leaf, Eka Bilvam Shivarpanam, if you are able to offer only one bilva leaf at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, but give your mind to him unconditionally, 100% to him, if you pour unconditional love, if you show bhakti towards him, then he will give himself to you. There is no doubt about it. Indeed, this is the crux. We need not search for exotic things outside. We have something inside and we have to go deep into it. Adi Shankaracharya himself gives this as a Shiva Manasa Stotram, Shiva Manasa Puja Stotram. He says, Aradhayami Mani Sannibham Atmalingam Mayapuri Hridaya Pankaja Sannivishtam. My Hridayam is the Pankajam, and in that I place Lord Shiva. Atmalingam, my Atma becomes the Shiva Lingam, and I offer my prayers to him. Shraddha Nadi Vimala Chitta Jalabhishekaihi. From the river Shraddha, faith, I draw water. And this water is my pure thoughts, my pure intention. Vimala Chitta Jala Abhishekaihi. Nityam, every day. Samadhi Kusumaihi Apunar Bhavaya. I offer my meditation to him, and that becomes the flower. Samadhi Kusumaihi Apunar Bhavaya. That is the flower that I can offer to him. Ratnai Kalpitam Asanam. I am imagining in my heart, I have placed him on a lotus asanam, and that is studded with gems and stones. Ratnai kalpitam asanam. Himajalehi snanam cha. I bring himajalam, I bring water from Himalayas and offer it to him. I do abhishekam. Himajalehi snanam cha. Divya ambaram. I offer divya clothes, divine clothes. Nanaratna Vibhushitam. I offer many jewels. Nanaratna Vibhushitam. Mrigamada Modankitam Chandanam. I anoint him with Chandanam. Jati, Champaka, Bilva, Patra, Rachitam. I offer all these flowers to him. Pushpam cha. Dupam Tatha Deepam Deva Dayanidhe. I offer Dupa Deepa Archana to him. Dayanidhe. Pashupate, embodiment of compassion. O Pashupati, Hrit Kalpitam Grihyatam. This might be my imagination, but please accept it. This might be something which I am offering without paying anything, without spending any material money, without spending laukika money, but please offer it and please accept it. Hrit kalpitam, this is my imagination, but grihyatam, please accept it. Sauvarne navaratna kantarachite patire ghritam payasam bhakshyam panchavidham payodadhiyutam rambhapalam panakam shakanamayutam jalam ruchikaram karpura kanthojvalam tambulam manasa maya virachitam bhaktya prabho swikuru. Manasa maya, through my mind, I have imagined all these things. Virachitam, I have built an empire for you. I am offering all kinds of foods, bhakshanam, prasadam to you. All these are rich and very tasty. Please accept it. Manasa maya virachitam bhaktya prabho swikuru. Chatram chamarayoryugam yajanakam chadarshakam nirmalam veena bheri mridanga kahalakala geetam cha nrityam tatha. I am fanning you. I am showing mirror. I am doing all kind of upacharams to you. I am also offering my music, my gana samarpanam to you with veena, bheri, mridanga, with veena, mridangam and all other instruments. Sashtangam pranatastutir bahuvidah hetat samastam maya sankalpena samarpitam tava vibho pujam grihana prabho. This is the best kind of puja and I am offering it to you. Atma tvam, you are my Atma. Girija matihi, Girija, Ambal becomes my mati, my mind. Sahacharaha pranaha, my prana becomes all the deva ganas, all the ganas, shiva ganas. Shariram griham, this shariram becomes a griham, becomes the temple of worship, becomes the place where we all reside. Atmatvam girijamati sahacharaha prana shariram griham pujate vishayopa bhoga rachana nidra samadhi sthitihi. When I sleep, that becomes my samadhi sthiti. That becomes a point where I offer myself completely to you. All the things that I think, all thoughts that come in my mind becomes a puja for you. Puja te vishayopa bhoga rachana nidra samadhi sthitihi sanchara padayo pradakshina vidhihi stotrani sarvagiro. Wherever I walk, wherever I go, it must be a pradakshanam for you. It must be construed as a pradakshanam in your temple. Stotrani sarvagiro. Whatever I speak must be construed as a stotram that I offer to you. It must be taken as a stotram that I tell, that I offer at your lotus feet. Even if I scold others, even if I praise others, even if I talk unnecessary things, it must be taken as a stotram for you. I offer it to you completely. Stotrani sarvagiro yadyat karma karomi tattad akhilam shambho tavaradhanam. Hey Shambhu, whatever I do, every single thing that I do must be offered to you. Shambho tava aradhanam. It must be offered to you. I must always place it at your feet. Everything that I do, if I talk today, it must be for you. If I think, it must be for you. If I see something, I must realize that I am seeing you. If I hear something, it must be your stories. It must be for you. And ultimately, I should realize that everything that I see, everything that I hear, everything that I smell, everything that I taste, everything that I talk, everything that I feel, every single thing is for my mind, and this mind is for you. I enjoy it because my mind likes it. I want to go again and again to a certain thing because my mind wants to stay there. And if my mind has to stay there, if my mind likes it, then I must try to divert it to you and make it accustomed, make it habituated to get involved in satsanga. Ultimately, everything that I see must be for you. Everything that I hear must be for you. Everything that I speak must be for you. Shambho Tava Aradhanam. Everything that I do in my life must be for you. So this is how puja must be there. This is how we must offer our mind as a flower. We need not search for other things outside. If we look into us, we have the most precious flower, which is our mind. So even if we offer many precious things, if we don't offer our mind, then that puja goes waste. Even if we are not able to offer anything in this world, even if we don't have a penny left with us, but if we have bhakti, if we have our mind, and if we surrender at His lotus feet 100% with devotion, then He will accept it. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. He only searches for bhakti. It might be a leaf, it might be a flower, it might be a fruit, it might be just one drop of water, but He searches for bhakti. Yome bhaktya prayachati. Tadaham bhakti upahritam. This line becomes very important. Shri Krishna says, I don't take the flower, I don't take the fruit, I don't take the leaf, I don't take the water which the bhakta has offered, but instead, bhakti upahritam, I will take bhakti from the padartham which he has offered. If he has offered his mind, I will take bhakti. If he has offered food, I will take bhakti from it. That is why we offer food. We offer it as Naivedyam. Naivedyam is not because Krishna or Shiva would want to eat that food. It is because we show our bhakti to Him. We tell Him that we are indeed indebted because He has blessed us today to have this food. So we offer it back to Him telling, Oh Shiva, Oh Parameshwara, thank you so much for giving me this food today. Thank you so much for blessing me with this meal today. And I am offering it back to you. Bhavagrahi Janardana yad bhavam tad bhavati. He takes only the bhavam. He doesn't take the padartham that we are offering. So it is bhavam which He sees, not the thing, not the vastu that we offer. Because vastu is again only mithya. It might be there today, it might not be there tomorrow. And we must all remember that it is only a reflection of the Paramatma Swarupam, and He has only given it to us ultimately. So vastu might be there today, it might not be there tomorrow. But bhakti bhavam and our mind is eternal and constant, and we must give that to Lord Shiva. That is why we say Jara Chora, Navanita Chora, Chora Chora Chora. Shri Krishna is always called Chora. In the same way, Lord Shiva is also called Taskaranam Pateye Namaha, Stenanam Pateye Namaha. Tirunjana Sambandhar also sings Todudaya Seviyan, Todudaya Seviyan, Vidayeri Vortu Venmadi Sudi, Kadudaya Sudali Podi Pusiyan Ullam Kavar Kalvan, Kadudaya Sudalai Podi Pusi Yenullam Kavar Kalvan. He says, Yen Ullam Kavar Kalvan. He is a Kalvan, he is a thief. Taskaranam Pataya Namaha. Rudram says Taskaranam Pataya Namaha. Stenanam Pataya Namaha. He is the Lord of thieves. He is the chief of thieves. What does he steal? What does Krishna steal? We say Navanita Chora. He steals butter. This butter is very pure. So if our heart is pure like that, then He steals it immediately. In our heart, if our mind is the milk, and if we are thoughts, which becomes the curd to it. And if we keep churning it, then we get butter. And this butter is very pure, and Bhagavan comes to steal it. So that is why Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna are called thieves, because they come to steal our heart. But we don't keep it open. We are not offering it to him. We are, in fact, closing it with all kinds of impurities, so they are not able to steal it. Ullam kavar kalvan. He is there only to steal our heart and to reside there constantly. But we are not giving him a chance. So, Lord Shiva only expects us to offer our heart at his lotus feet. Even in Vishwanatha Ashtakam, Adi Shankaracharya says, Asham vihaya parihritya parasya nindam pape ratimcha sunivarya manassamadhav adaya hrit kamala madhyagatam paresham Varanasi purapatim bhaja Vishwanatham. Asham vihaya, leaving aside all desires, leaving behind all desires. Parihritya parasya nindam, let us not speak ill about anyone. Let us not scold anyone. Pape ratim, let us not find pleasure in sinful activities. Sunivarya manassamadhav, let our mind be in samadhi sthiti. Adaya hritkamala madhyagatam paresham. Adaya, taking our mind, taking that lotus where Lord Shiva is placed, to him and offering it at his lotus feet. Varanasi purapatim bhaja Vishwanatham. I bow down and prostrate at the lotus feet of Vishwanatha, who stays, who resides in Varanasi, says Adi Shankaracharya in Vishwanatha Ashtakam. When we offer our flower, we should ensure that this flower has fragrance. We should ensure that this flower is very soft. All flowers are generally very soft. These flowers have fragrance. They are tender and they are very pure. We must not offer impure flowers to Lord Shiva for any puja for that matter. So in the same way, our mind must be tender with bhakti. It must have bhakti bhava. It must be mridu, soft and tender. It must have fragrance. This fragrance is bhakti. It must be very pure, without any impurities. And when this kind of a flower is originated, when we make our mind similar to this kind of a flower, then automatically Lord Shiva comes to pluck it and to own it. And if he owns it, he will ensure that best care is given, best attention is given for this flower. In this shloka, Adi Shankaracharya says, Umanatha bhavate. Uma is Girija Parvati. After giving up her mortal body, Dakshayani Sati reincarnates as Parvati, Uma Devi. She takes up this form of Parvati and she is born to Himavan and Manorama. She wanted to do a severe penance to attain Lord Shiva. At that point of time, her mother prevents her from doing so. She asks her not to get involved in all these difficult things. She kept stopping her. So that is why she got the name Uma. Umeti matra tapaso nishiddha. U denotes tapa. Ma denotes do not. So her mother kept telling her not to do tapas. Don't do tapas. Don't do tapas. Uma. So that is how she got the name Uma. Adi Shankaracharya has used the word Umanatha because don't strain yourself in unnecessary things. Don't keep roaming about here and there in search of things which are of no use. Don't make things complicated. You have an easy thing which is offering your mind. Offer it to him. He is Umanatha. He accepts everything. Pashupati. So offer your mind to him and he becomes extremely happy and contented. And this gives us the epitome of happiness, and this gives us the purest form of happiness without any doubt. So, this is the reason why Ambal is also called Antarmukha Samaradhya Bahirmukha Sudurlabha in Lalita Sahasranamam. Antarmukha Samaradhya, those who look into themselves can easily attain her, can easily please her. Antarmukha Samaradhya, they can easily offer their namaskarams to Ambal by looking into themselves. Bahirmukha Sudurlabha, those who look outside and waste their time cannot easily find her. She is very difficult to be found if we look outside. But if we look inside, then we can easily find her and we can easily bring her under our control if we bring our mind under our control. So, Antarmukha Samaradhya Bahirmukha Sudurlabha. It becomes extremely difficult if we start searching for her outside. Also, Chaitanyarghya Samaradhya Chaitanya Kusuma Priya. Chaitanya Arghya. She wants only our chitta, our mind, our thoughts. Chaitanya Kusuma Priya. She wants this flower to be offered to her. Chaitanya Kusuma Priya. She wants our mind flower to be offered at her lotus feet. Chaitanya Kusuma Priya. There is a famous shloka by Neelakantha Dikshitar in which he says, offering flower to Lord Shiva is very important. But the intentions with which it is offered is of utmost importance. A bhakta, when he offers flowers to Lord Shiva, he offers himself. He places his mind at the lotus feet of Shiva, so he accepts it immediately. But the same flower, when it was thrown by Manmatha at Lord Shiva, then he destroyed Manmatha by opening his third eye. So, offering flower is not important, but the bhava with which we offer becomes very, very important. That is why there is a famous doha by Kabir in which he says, Mala to karme firai, jeeb firai mukhumahi, manwa to dasdisi firai, ye to sumiran nahi. Do you know what smarana is? Do you know what meditation is? It is not having a japamala in hand. Mala to karme firai. Japamala is there in the hand. Jeeb firai mukhumahi. We keep chanting something and we keep rolling our japamala. But actually, manuvato dasdisi firai. This mind is roaming here and there. Yeto sumiran nahi. This is not smarana. This is not meditation. This is not puja. So don't get involved in all these things. Mind should be at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, and that is purest form of bhakti, purest form of devotion, and that puja is instantly accepted by Lord Shiva, says Adi Shankaracharya in the 9th shloka of Shivananda Lahari. Further, in the 10th shloka, he says that if our mind is at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, then we need not worry about other things. He sings, Naratvam Devatvam Nagavana Mrigatvam Mashakata Pashutvam Kitatvam Bhavatu Vihagattvadi Jananam Sadatattvadabja Smarana Paramananda Lahari Viharasaktam Chet Hridayamiha Kim Tena Vapusha. नरत्वं देवत्वं नगवनमृगत्वं मशकता पशुत्वं कीटत्वं भवतु विहगत्वादिजननम् सदा त्वत्पादाब्जस्मरण परमानन्द लहरी विहारासक्तं चेत् हृदयमिह किं तेन वपुषा. He says, Naratvam, let me get a human body. Devatvam, let me get a celestial body. Nagavanamrigatvam, let me get the body of a wild animal which roams about in the forest and in mountains. Mashakata, let me get the body of a mosquito or an insect. Pashutvam, let me get the body of a domestic animal. Keetatvam, let me get the body of a worm. Bhavatu vihagattvadi jananam, let me get the body of a bird. Sada tvatpadabjasmarana paramananda lahari viharasaktam chet hridayam. Sada hridayam, if my mind is constantly tvatpadabjasmarana paramananda lahari viharasaktam chet. Chet, if my mind is constantly placed at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, if it is placed in your lotus feet, Tvat Padabja Smarana, if it constantly thinks only about you, and if it constantly strolls about in your Smarana, if it is there in your lotus feet, then Paramananda Lahari, I will experience Parama Ananda Lahari in me, and Vihara Asaktam Chet, if it is dwelling there constantly, then Iha Kim Tena Vapusha. Then why should I bother about what Janma I have, what body I have taken? It doesn't matter to me. It is not going to affect me in any way. It is of no use. It is of no practical relevance to me. So he says, I might get any body. I might be made to live in any loka. That is not going to affect me. What should be there in our mind constantly is the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. We have to understand a point here. The shariram that we have is only a dress that we wear. In Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna says, Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinhani naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sanyati navani dehi. After a few years, we find a dress to be torn or very old. So we will discard it immediately. In the same way, this Atma has taken up this body, and this is just a dress for that Atma. This Atma discards the old dress when it dies and takes up a new dress when it is born again. Now, this Atma can take up any form. It depends upon the karma that we do. Karma phala anusaram. It depends upon the karma actions that we do. From the Sanchita bank, if certain karmas are taken, if the punya is said to be more, then we might get a celestial form, Devatvam. If the papa is said to be more, then we might have to undergo many sufferings. So we might be asked to take up the form of an animal or some other lower form of being. When Punya and Papa are somewhat balanced or up to a certain point where they are equal, then we are given the human form. Naratvam, Devatvam. In the celestial form, we might have a lot of Punya, but as we enjoy all those pleasures, we might stop thinking about Lord Shiva. We might start becoming very complacent. We might not have Vairagyam. And once our Punya gets over, we might be thrown to the lower levels again. So, by being a Deva, these are the problems that we might face. By being a lower level animal, Nagavana Mrigatvam, Pashutvam, Mashakata, Kitatvam, Vihagatva. If we are made to be born as a bird, a wild animal, a domesticated animal, as an insect or as a worm, then we might have to face many sufferings. We have to constantly be on the run. We might not have the wisdom to think about Lord Shiva, and we might have to fill our tummy. We keep running only for that purpose. We might not have Bhagavad Smriti, and we might not have freedom. But Jantonam Narajanma Durlabham, says Adi Shankaracharya in Viveka Chudamani. This human form is indeed a blessed form. This is because we might have the wisdom, we might have the freedom to think about Lord Shiva, and we might also have the freedom to choose between what is right and wrong. So we have some advantages and of course some disadvantages by being a human. It is not, we might not be sure that we will get mukti, we will get moksha by getting a human form. There is no assurance that we will get mukti or moksha by getting a human form. And there is no assurance that we might be denied from getting mukti, moksha by taking the other forms. Even by taking a human form, many people might not be able to offer their mind at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. They might be impure. Their mind and senses might not be under their control. So they will not be able to offer everything at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. So even if a human form is given to them, it might go waste. But animals also tend to worship Lord Shiva. Even if you are given an animal form, you can worship Lord Shiva. We all know the story of Gajendra. He thought about Narayana and said, Adi Moolame. Narayana came rushing towards him and protected him and gave moksha to him. We all know about Jatabharata, who in spite of taking the form of a deer, kept thinking about Narayana and attained moksha in his next birth. In Bhagavan, in Ramana Maharishi's Charitram, we all know that he gave moksha to a cow, dog and a crow whose samadhi is still found in Ramanashramam. We all know about Jatayu, who was a vulture who was given moksham. In Tiruvanekaval, an elephant and a crab did puja to Lord Shiva and attained moksham. In Puliyur, a tiger did puja to Lord Shiva and attained him. So, there are n number of possibilities. You might get the form of an animal, but still, if you worship Lord Shiva, if you are able to submit yourself at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, then nothing like that. You might be given a human form, but even after giving a human form or a celestial form, if you are not able to worship Lord Shiva, if you are not able to think about Lord Shiva, then even after getting that human form, it is a waste. You cannot use it. You cannot make the best use of it. You cannot make the optimum use of it. So, Adi Shankaracharya says, this form might vary. I might not get a human form, or I might not have sufficient punya in my bank account, in my Sanchita account, to get a human form or to get a better form. So, this thing is not constant. This is not something which I can control. This is not something which I can estimate or assume or predict. Instead, O Lord Shiva, I ask you something which is constant and which is under my control. What is it? He says, if my heart sadatvat padabja smarana paramananda lahari viharasaktam chet hridayamiha kim tedavapusha. If my mind is constantly there in your lotus feet, why should I think about the outer dress that I would be wearing? Why should I think about the form that I would be taking? What use is it? What will I get out of it? So let me not think about all those things. Purvai pirakkinum punya un adi en manate valuvadirikka varantara vendum. Even if I am born as a worm, I should always think about you. I should always have your lotus feet in my mind, says Tirunavukarasar. Puruvai pirakkinum punniya un adi en manatte valuvadirukka varam tara vendum. Also, yengenum yadagi pirandidinum tan adiyarku inge enrarul puriyum emberuman, says Sambandar. You might take any form. You might be there in any place. You might be born in any nook and corner of the world. But still, if you think about him, he will come running to you and he will protect all his bhaktas. There is a famous saying, Punyena yati daivatvam papena narakim tanum ubhabhyam punyabhyam manushim tanum richati. If you have punya, you might get the deva form. Papa, if you have papa, you might get the animal form. But if you have samam, if you have both in equal proportion, you might get a human form. But that is not going to matter here, because our mind should always be at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. In Mukundamala, Kulashekara Alvar says, Nastha dharme navasunichaye naiva kamopabhoge yadyad bhavyam bhavatu bhagavan purvakarmanurupam etat prarthyam mama bahumatam janma janmantarepi tvatpadam bhoruha yugagata nischala bhaktirastu. I don't want wealth. Nastha dharme, I don't want dharma. Na vasu nichaye, I don't want wealth. Naiva kamopabhoge, I don't want to enjoy materialistic pleasures. Yadyad bhavyam bhavatu bhagavan purva karmanurupam. Whatever has to happen will happen. And that is because of the karma that I do. That has got nothing to do with the form that I take. Etat prarthyam mama bahumatam janma janmantarepi tvatpadam bhoruva yugagata. He says, if you offer me this alone, I would be greatly indebted to you. What is it? Janma janmantarepi tvatpada ambhoruva yugagata. Nischala bhaktirastu. I should have nischala bhakti. My mind must not sway here and there. It must be constant. It should be a dridha bhakti. I must always think about your lotus feet. And if I am given this blessing, then I don't mind taking n number of births. I don't mind taking any form. Janma janmantarepi. Even if I have to take millions of janma, I'm least bothered about it, because all that matters is bhakti. And if I have bhakti at your lotus feet, and if it's unswerving, if it is fixed, if it is constant, if it is dridham, then I need not worry about anything in this world. Diviva bhuviva mamastu vaso narakeva narakantaka prakamam. Avadhirita sharadara vindau charanaute maranepi chintayami. I should think about your lotus feet And even if I'm made to live in Swargalokam, Diviva, Bhuviva, even if I'm made to live here in this world, in this earth, Narakeva Narakantaka Prakamam, even if I'm pushed to Naraka, Narakantaka Prakamam, according to your wish, I am made to live in all these places. But if I am given the blessing of thinking about your lotus feet always, and especially when I leave this body, Maranepi Chintayami, if I am about to leave this body, and if your Smriti, your Kamala Charana Smriti comes to me, and if it's there in me constantly, then I will not worry about other things. Says Kulashekar Alvar in Mukundamala. So ultimately, it drills down to this point. Ayogyah Purusho Nasti Yojakaha Tatra Durlabhaha. Nobody is imperfect or impure. But the combination is what is that matters. You might be born as an animal, but you might have more punya and you might have the smriti of Bhagavan, and so you can ultimately attain him. You might be born as a human being, but still if you don't think about him, you cannot attain him. So it depends upon the combination. And even if the combination is not in the right proportion, we can bring it up to the level. We can make it the right proportion by taming our mind. If we tame our mind, if we understand that we have to offer ourselves at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, and if we start working towards it, then nothing is impossible. Nobody is impure. Nobody is immature. Everybody deserves Bhagavad Charanam. Everybody deserves bhakti. But it is the combination that matters. So, we are all indeed blessed to get this combination. But let us strive more. Let us work more to make the best combination in our life, so that we attain him in this Janma itself, and so that we offer ourselves in this Janma itself, and he gets pleased with this bhakti and accepts our bhakti. Let us all try to make this the best combination, so that the puja that we offer is the best puja, which is offering of our mind. So let us strive hard towards it. Let us put in our level best efforts towards it, and let us attain him ultimately. Hara Namah Parvati Pataye, Hara Hara Mahadeva, Adi Parashakti Mata Ki Jai, Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, वीर धीर शूर पराक्रम आंजनेय स्वामी की जय. தென்னாட்டுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.